Incoming transmission. Radio Rebellion.
Welcome to the Rebellion, another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. How are you guys doing today? I am excited, over the moon, cloud nine, whatever phrase you want to use. That's me right now. You know it. Boba Fett, you see it there on the promo. You see him behind me. You see my pictures with the helmet. What an episode last week. I'll be smiling all day. So yeah, it's gonna be one of those shows. But thank you guys for being here. Today we're talking Mandalorian Chapter 14, The Tragedy. We're also doing a rewind of Empire Strikes Back. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm running a little bit behind. It started a little bit late today, about 2 minutes, but still. I didn't get a chance to go through my notes of Empire Strikes Back, but it'll be fine. We won't have any issues with it, right? No, because we're here to have fun, talk about Mandalorian, talk Star Wars, talk my guy Boba Fett. I'm ready. I got my Boba Fett hat, got my Empire Strikes Back shirt. So we're ready. We're ready to go. Thanks you guys for joining us. As always, thanks for the support. End of the year, always grateful for you guys out there. Don't forget, if you're watching this for the first time, you're joining us, make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos. Like this video, either now or later. Just hit that thumbs up button. Leave us a comment if you're watching this little later on during the replay. And if you're, of course, listening to this on the audio podcast, Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, wherever, make sure that you're subscribed to it so you don't miss it. Put those alarm bells and leave us a rate and review. They always help. So got a lot to talk about today, so I don't want to waste a lot of time, although it's never wasting time when we're talking Star Wars, but I want to get right to it pretty quickly. And of course, who's here is saying hi, saying boom. That's what I said yesterday. How you doing, Mr. Rez? Tony, thanks as always for joining us. Oh, that episode yesterday. We're going to talk about it. Don't worry. We're going to talk about it for a long time, but not too long. We got a lot of stuff going on, but so you know what? Why don't we just get to it right now? Give me 1 second as I get everything ready. But what did you guys think of that episode? Everyone, if you saw it yesterday, let me know what you thought about it. It was a great episode, like I said, and I'm glitching. I don't know. So my camera's. Let me know if it's the same for you guys. No, I'm not even gonna wait. Give me 1 second. As always, we gotta go on the fly with this. It doesn't matter. Let me see if this works. Give me. All right, we are back. So let me know how it is for you guys out there. If there's any issues with the audio or the camera. It's a little bit different that we usually do it, but that's fine. We roll with the punches here on Radio Rebellion. So let me get this set up like I want. There we go. So let's go. Oh, look who's joining us. Our friend Outer Rim Reads. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. So, we're talking Mandalorian. We're going to have fun. You've seen all my tweets today. I just got off briefly, but you're back on. It's cutting out again. Just let me know if it's back. If you're still having issues, I don't like this camera too much. I'm going to try the other one real quick. If not, we'll get back to this one. All right, here we go. There we go. So hopefully this is it. Hopefully we're doing fine now. Thanks, Tony, for being here. Thanks, Out to Rim Reads. Let us know what you thought about that episode, that great episode of The Mandalorian. And with that said, I think it's time to go to This Week in Mando Reviews. Yes, you know it. We're going to talk about it. Chapter 14, The Tragedy. I don't know why I left Chapter 13 there on my graphic. That's fine. We're talking Chapter 14, The Tragedy of the Mandalorian. You can see the big trio there. And it was, what an episode it was. So let's get into it real quick. All right, yeah, you know it. I am really excited about this episode. I'm gonna start with this. I was a little hypocritical myself last week. I didn't say it out loud. I didn't mention it to anyone. So yeah, last week we got the debut of Ahsoka Tano on live action, and everyone went nuts. This it was a great episode. I said that first time I saw it, I wasn't 100% into it. It took me a while to get into it. Second viewing, third viewing, I put this as my second favorite of the season, probably of the whole series, but still the Heiress with Bo-Katan was my favorite episode. But a lot of people, especially fans of Ahsoka Tano, were on cloud nine with last week, saying it was their favorite episode, bar none. And I understand Ahsoka Tano holds people that love Ahsoka Tano hold her close to their heart. It's a lot of people love that character for a lot of different reasons, and it's great. You can't take that away from them. It's awesome. But I was thinking, I think people that are saying that that was the best episode so far are just focusing on it's Ahsoka, it's their favorite character. That's why they liked it so much. If you see the episode as a whole, it's great. I still think we had better episodes. Then this episode comes out yesterday. Boba Fett shows up, and I go crazy. I'm saying this is my favorite episode of the whole series, not just of the season. And maybe it is because Boba Fett was there, and I'm being partial to my boy. So I understand why everyone last week was freaking out about Ahsoka Tano. So even though I didn't say anything, I didn't post anything about it, I'll apologize to you guys. I was hypocritical because I'm doing the same thing today and yesterday. I've watched it 3 times already, twice yesterday, one right before this. That's where I was running a little bit late. I was taking some of my notes. But yes, great episode, loved it. We'll see at the end where it ranks. So right now it's my favorite episode of the season, probably the whole series. Okay, before we start, we get into, let me say hi to a few more people out there. As always, Kat. Oh, that jump, Kat. Vader Girl 28. How are you doing, Kat? Thanks for joining us today. Saying hi to everyone. And you're right. There's such great episodes. It's very hard to rank. There's some great episodes last year for season 1 that I know it's easy to say, oh, this season has been better. The episodes this season are my favorites because we got a lot of characters that we know. But if you see everything as a whole, it's difficult to rank. There's a lot out there. And our friend Dale Erdman is here saying hi to everyone, to myself, to Res, Outer Rim Reese, to Kat. Everyone's here. Everyone's having fun. And here you say, whenever Thrawn shows up, this is coming from Outer Rim Reads, whenever Thrawn shows up will be my favorite episode, hands down. So I feel that you're right. I'm going to talk about it at the end, a little bit at the end of the episode when I talk about what I think is going to happen in the final 2. I'll mention it because last week, I'm not going to jump ahead. Let's go. It's already 8 minutes, a little bit glitchy at first, but we're ready to go. So shortest episode. From not counting the recap and then the credits, it's only 28 minutes. But we said it, I think it was episode 2 or 3 of this season. It was also around 32 to 35 minutes, which was the shortest one at that point. I say it doesn't matter. Right now it's quality over quantity. Yes, we love those 45, 55 minutes episode. But if in 28 minutes you can do what you did yesterday, again, I think our friend talking to my hand said it better. I don't want to hear people complaining, oh, it's a short episode. If you can pack all that in 28 minutes, it doesn't feel rushed. It expands the story of the show of Mando and Grogu, plus gives us a great character that we know, like Boba Fett, expands on his backstory. And then you start thinking what's going to happen next with that character, and then pushes the whole story forward for the last 2 episodes. Then, yes, I love those longer episodes, but it doesn't matter. It's the storytelling. If you have a lot of critique about the sequel trilogy is that they didn't have the same directors or the same writing team. Here you have Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau writing everything. I think Favreau wrote all the episodes except the one for Ahsoka, which was obviously Filoni, but Favreau has written every episode so far this season. If you do that, you do that as your show strategy or the way your show is run, then the stories make sense and it doesn't matter how long or how short they are. So this is directed by Robert Rodriguez, which is a big screen director, done a lot of stuff out there. So he's not shy of doing action. He knows how to work behind the camera. There were some great shots going in this episode since right from the beginning. Last episode, we said the way that some shots were framed were just gorgeous, with Ahsoka holding Grogu with the moon behind them. Every confrontation they had in the village, the way they were framed were gorgeous. I haven't seen those shots that beautifully in Mandalorian since that episode or before. But they were basically stills. They're still shots. Here, the way the camera movement just with Mando coming into Tython, seeing the mountain, the sacred mountain, the way the ship turned around it, the way the camera was looking from inside the ship through the mirrors into the sacred Jedi temple or whatever you want to call that sacred rock, the scene stone. Awesome. So all that was great. It's a different type of storytelling of visuals. And again, it was a great directing, great cinematography all around. Diverse cast. We've talked about it before. Diversity in the world is so important. It's Star Wars that consumes so much of our lives. Diversity is so important also. And this episode, basically every character, every actor, it's diverse for whatever reason. So you have, first starting with the director in Robert Rodriguez. Then we have Pedro Pascal, Giancarlo Esposito, Temura Morrison, Ming-Na Wen, Cathy O'Brien, even Cara Dune at the end, Gina Carano as a female character in Star Wars. So the diversity in this episode, again, every single character, not counting the stormtroopers, basically every character that had a spoken line was minority, different sexuality, gender. Great. This is what we need to see. This is the world out there. So it was great seeing this in Star Wars. You're right. Sometimes the shortest episodes have been the best. Again, it's just how you write them. It's the stories. We don't want a lot of fluff. Like sometimes my reviews and my talking to you guys here, sometimes I talk too much instead of getting to that point. That's the point of this. I try to shorten my shows a little bit and it never works. So yeah, no matter how long the episodes have been, they all have played their part in moving the plot along. You're right, Outer Rim Reese. That's what we've been saying for the past 5 minutes. That's what great storytelling and great story writers do. Yeah, diversity, you love to see it. So, okay, I know last week I started with the whole episode and then I ended with Ahsoka. You know what? We're switching it, flipping it. We're starting with my guy, Boba Fett. I'm not going to let him sit in the back room waiting before we talk about him. No, we're starting with Boba Fett because he stole the show. I posted like 20 tweets today about vindication. I don't want to hear it again, that he's a overrated character. He doesn't do anything. He's just a cool looking character that dies stupidly or bumbly. No, this episode did for Boba Fett what Rogue One did for OT Vader. In sense, we always wanted to see that badass Vader 100% full power in his suit. We got that in Rogue One. So yeah, what happens in A New Hope, moving a little bit slower, that's fine. We got him in Rogue One. Mandalorian did yesterday to Boba Fett what Rogue One did to that all-powerful Vader. So I love it. I love this guy so much. So this episode yesterday started with a recap that there's starting to be a little bit of a spoilery notion because it starts with the end of the chapter 5, the gunslinger from season 1, with Fennec Shand dead on the sands of Tatooine, and then we see this stranger walking in, and we get a little bit more because last time we didn't see him kneel down completely, but the way he was shown yesterday, I thought, okay, it's not gonna be Boba Fett. Doesn't look like Boba Fett. I've been saying since last year, it makes sense that Boba Fett is the stranger at the end of the episode. And then I also changed my tune, saying actually it makes more sense that it's going to be Cat Bane. Even last week I said Cat Bane's going to be the stranger. He's the one that took Grogu from the Jedi Temple, so Cat Bane is going to come back. So I'm not going to 100% say, oh, I've been on the Boba Fett train for a whole year. I went off, now I'm back, and it shows it was Boba Fett. We heard this purge during the episode last year, but here now we got him. So yeah, let me see what you guys are saying out there. Your comments. I love reading your comments. I love when you guys are here in the chat. Makes this a little bit more of a conversation, not just me here monologuing for an hour and a half. So Arthur Rim Reed saying that's a brilliant point. I never made that parallel with Vader and Rogue One. And then our friend Dale adds, Alberto, do you think Dean, Cara, Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, Mix Mayfield, Cobb Vanth, Koska, Pelimoto, plus or minus a few, are waiting on Ahsoka's ship when she picks up Sabine at the end of Rebels? Oh, Dale, are you doing this to me, Dale? I've never thought about it. I said it last week, and a lot of people have said it, that yesterday or last week episode of The Mandalorian, it's between the end of Rebels and that epilogue. That this is happening. I said it last week. The reconstruction where I can't believe I forgot her name. Whatever. You guys, the Mandalorian from Rebels. I can't believe Sabine. I said Satine, and then that Sabine is helping after the end of in Lothal, helping with the reconstruction of the city, and then Ahsoka's on her side trying to find any clues about Thrawn so they can find Ezra, and then they come together at the epilogue at the end of Rebels. I think those things are happening simultaneously, and that's what we were seeing during last week's episode. So when they meet up at the epilogue, that's when the Mandalorian is done, and then they're going to find Ezra. But I didn't think about this. There, you make a great point. It would be great if Sabine walks into the ship and you have Dean, Cara, Boba Fett, Cobb Vanth, Mayfield. I don't think Mayfield, but who knows? Koska, Reef, Axe, Wolves, Pelimoto taking. It'll be great. And then if you move that either live action or animated with all those characters, it will, again, that connecting the universe that they said they were going to start to do, and it will be great. Yeah, you're right. Dale is taking theory crafting to the next level with that, and it's awesome. I think it might be too much, but who knows? Maybe some of those. It will be great. That's, I don't know. That takes us to another conversation. Dale always is. Sometimes steals my thunder with Chaz, things I'm gonna talk about, but no, I didn't think about that one. That'll be awesome. If there is someone, even if Din Djarin, at least, if you only have Din Djarin and Cobb Vanth, I don't think Boba Fett will see what happens with him. We have those two Mandalorians picking up Sabine, going to find Ezra. That'll be another whole other level, animated, live action, whatever. That'll put Star Wars. Oh, I don't know how you can top what happened today, but that would. All right, so Boba Fett, we saw him at the end of the episode 1 of season 2, chapter 9, I guess, the Marshal with Cobb Vanth. So we saw him at the end of the episode, and then here we go, episode 2, chapter 10. That's gonna be that confrontation between Mando, Cobb Vanth, and Boba Fett. He wants his armor. It's gonna happen on episode 2. It didn't happen. It hasn't, and then he hasn't shown up for the past 3 or 4 weeks. I was thinking even a few days ago, saying, oh, maybe he doesn't show up. Maybe that's the only thing we get about Boba Fett. He's alive, and then you can craft the story around it. There's rumors that he's going to get his own TV show. It's going to be a prequel to this between End of Return of the Jedi and The Mandalorian. Then, okay, you don't need to show him again in Mando. But then yesterday, I was thinking before watching the show, there's a reason Din Djarin took Boba Fett's armor, and it's still in play. He hasn't given it to anyone. It needs to come back somehow. Is it that he goes back to Tatooine and gives it back to Cobb Vanth to help at the end, when we all knew that he was going to get the gang back together and go fight Moff Gideon? But then it's a waste, because you took the armor from him in season 1, nothing happened to the armor, then you give it back. So the armor is still in play, and it makes sense it's going to be for Boba Fett. So I was still thinking there's still a chance that he shows up. Zero idea if it was going to happen yesterday. I'm not gonna say that I got spoiled because we get the title of the episodes pretty quickly when the episode starts. But yesterday I saw they was titled "The Tragedy," so I quickly jumped to the conclusion of the tragedy. They're gonna take the child. They're gonna take Grogu at the end of this. I said last week I thought this was gonna be the end of season two. Was gonna be the Dark Saber chapter ends. That's gonna be the big battle at the end of season two. Moff Gideon loses the dark saber to Bo-Katan, but gains Grogu. How? I'm not sure, but that's how it's gonna end. He goes off, and that's the cliffhanger for season two. And season three is the search for Grogu, not for Spock. The search for Grogu. But when then this happened yesterday, I saw the title, the tragedy. Then okay, bets are all off. This is gonna happen now. That's gonna be the episode. I was saying last week. I hope this episode was Moff Gideon focused. So when I saw the title, I was okay, it might be. It wasn't, but it doesn't matter. 2 minutes into it, here comes the Slave One. That blew my mind. I guess I didn't scream, but I'm like, what? Slave One? Everybody, shut up! What's going on? I lost it because I've been saying it. This show, they don't hide things. If something's gonna happen in an episode, they'll give it to you in the first 5 minutes. Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, and now Slave One. No one's hiding in the shadows. You don't hear someone speaking, and is that guy? Oh, there's a music cue. No, Baby Yoda gets put on the scene stone. What's going on? Slave One, right there. You know it's Boba Fett. It's not gonna be anyone else. I'm freaking out. I see Slave One. It looks gorgeous. It lands, and then we see his silhouette walking out. We saw it at the end of episode one. We know it's Boba Fett with the gaffy stick and the Tusken Raider rifle. What does he want? He wants his armor back. I'm not a Jedi. I'm not here for you. I'm not here for the child. I just want my armor back. That's all he wants. I'm a simple man making my way through the galaxy like my father before me. Come on. When we did our recap, our rewind of Attack of the Clones, I said that that stuff on Tatooine, on Camino between Jango Fett and Kenobi are my favorite in that movie. And that scene of them just talking to each other, sizing each other up, is one of my favorite things in Star Wars. I'm a simple man making my way through the universe. It's just classic Star Wars. Everyone knows that. Changing it a little bit, saying just making my way through the galaxy, and then adding like my father before me. I'm going to talk about it next week when we talk about Return of the Jedi. I'm a Jedi like my father before me was my Star Wars for 20 years. So hearing that again, just a little twist on it, brings all those memories back, brings a different level of empathy, I guess, a little bit to Boba Fett, because we create that connection, that fatherly connection. What Star Wars is about, especially this show, everyone's been saying the fatherly connection, the parental connection between Din Djarin and Grogu. Grogu keeps growing with every episode. So now we have that again with Boba Fett. Who's that? I'm doing something like my father before me. This armor belonged to my father, now belongs to me. Again, that connection is still there. So it was a great action episode. But when you start breaking it down, you can see all those little connections. It's just awesome. All right, so you guys are adding real quick Outer Rim reads. I figured Gideon would take Grogu going into the episode, but still, when I saw that tragedy, I got chills. Yeah, everyone knew what's going to happen when that episode. I mean, that title tells you right there the tragedy. Although some people might say that the Razor Crest blowing up was a tragedy, especially everyone that pre-ordered the HasLab $350 or whatever it is. So yeah. Yeah, so it was great. All right, so that fight. Let's start with the gaffy stick fight. So he's talking to Mando, and then a transport comes out of nowhere. There's a transport. Stormtroopers walk out. We got this. You go get the child. Leave your jetpack down there. You won't need it later. Just leave your jetpack. We'll be back to it. Man, I know the armorer kicked butt in season one. We all loved that fight, how brutal it was. But Armorer who? That gaffy stick fight, he's knocking people over. The way that first one, he's just laying his back to the rock, hiding there, and then they the camera pulls out to the end of the stick to the face, spear to the chest, whacking everyone, sweeping legs, spinning it around, bashing it. So you think that Rogue One, the way that in Guardian of the Wheel was hitting all the stormtroopers was brutal. This put that out of the water. Armorer, I love you, Armorer, but you don't hold a candle to this. I saw some people on Twitter saying that this was Boba Fett's hallway scene also because of how brutal he was. It's not just, oh, I'm the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy. I've been living on the sands of Tatooine for the past 5 or 6 years with nothing but not even my name, because the armor is my name. I just have a stick and a rifle. He's been surviving. He just showed you why. So, oh, sorry, Dale. Sorry, Dale, you back the HasLab. It'll still come out. That I understand we're making these jokes, but the Razor Crest is a very iconic ship in Star Wars right now. So even if we don't see it again, it's an iconic ship. As soon as we see it, we go straight to the Mandalorian, Din Djarin. So yeah, it's gonna really. Ah, there you go. The value might go up. Everything Star Wars goes up. So yeah, we might get it. But it's funny to make those type of jokes out there. But yeah, this when I saw this on screen, I just lost my mind. Seeing the Slave One crawling in front of Din Djarin and the sacred temple, the sacred mountain was awesome. It's one of those visuals, things that you think you won't see again in Star Wars. Seeing it live action on the small screen, again, over the moon, as they like to say. And then that final one, he's dragging that gaffy stick and then bashing that last guy, that commander, telling just surround them or go around them. You're stupid troopers. And then whack them. Oh man, I could watch that all day. I'll probably will. I'll probably, after I'm done here, I'll go watch it again. So then he gets his armor back. After he finishes the battle, we see he kills that last stormtrooper, and then a close up to Boba's face and then to the Razor Crest with the hatch open. Come on, just lock. I'm sure that has a beeper. Just lock that. Then you get out of the ship, you lock it. If not, it's gonna get stolen. You've been on Tatooine long enough to know that Jawas are everywhere. Why are you leaving your ship open? Doesn't matter. Great that you left it open. Boba says, I'm going in. And as soon as I saw that hatch open, I knew it. It's coming. Boba Fett's gonna get that armor. I told my kids and my wife, we were watching it together, saying, get ready because I'm gonna about to scream. Why? As soon as he shows up in that armor, which we saw 4 weeks ago on Cup Bank, and he wore it great. I won't take that away from Timothy Oliphant. He wore it great. This is Boba Fett. He shows up. They're Mando, Din Djarin, and Fennec Shan are getting beat up, are getting all shooten up by all the troopers. Then we see a grenade blows up, a thermal detonator, whatever. He jumps down on his jetpack, does a little tap on the shoulder. Oh man, and that shot pulls back, and he's just there. He just whackums with the back of his gauntlet, breaks his face, breaks his helmet, starts shooting. Then I love that battle. It's blasters, hand to hand. He has his wrist rockets. Oh, you have whistling birds? That's cute. I have freaking screaming knees. I'm shooting missiles from my knees, shooting everyone. Punches a trooper in the stomach, and then does I don't know what the hell that was. If he shot him with his wrist cannons, if he has some hydraulics and just blasted the guy like 15 feet forward, shooting everyone, does that last shot like that. Very Django, I think. Again, the choreography, the fighting in this episode, just the whole series, the fighting is, oh, look, come on, Geeky, can dance. I know it's you. Boba is badass. I know you'll come around. I know you'll come around even for an episode, but thank you for being here as always, and for admitting that, at least for today, we are all on the same Star Wars umbrella, that Boba Fett is the greatest. At least for today, we're all on the same. Missile knees, fantastic ideas. We've seen them. He's never used them. There's got a reason he has them there. And yeah, yeah, he blows them up with the knee rockets. Then the troopers say, "Oh, let's get out of here." They start running to the transport. If you see the transport starts going, the last one has to jump in to be able to get there before they leave. And yeah, I know it took you 20 years to love the character. That's fine. Maybe not love, but to appreciate the character a little bit more. Missile Niece is his DJ name back on Tatooine. You gotta make a living somehow. So it is a good name for a DJ. Yeah, there are DJs in Star Wars. Anyway, so what else? So yeah, and then the transport start leaving, and what does he do? Here we go. Get that rangefinder down, log onto the transport, shoot it down, blows up, blows the other one up, goes a great action shot, turns around, flames behind him. He does the great aim or great shot. I aim at the other one. It doesn't matter, Boba. We'll give you a pass. It was badass anyway. So what else happened? So after that, we learn his backstory or Django's backstory. In that, yeah, you're right, Geeky. You're right, Candace. You might love him now. And again, I'm almost there. We'll talk about it in a yeah, Mr. S, when you do. When you know. It's something that it won't change. Now I have something to always fall back. I know. I know that you, Candace, you put me on the spot with your tweet that I didn't have anything to defend him before. I have things to defend Boba Fett. Now I have more. It doesn't matter. So then we get the backstory. Is he really Mandalorian? That's a big question for since Attack of the Clones, even before are Jango Fett and Boba Fett Mandalorians. And here we get the backstory. He's a foundling, was given the armor by Mando's forebearers. He fought in the Mandalorian Civil War, got the armor. Now Boba Fett is the owner of the armor. So yes, you can say that they're officially Mandalorian. You can also say that maybe not, because they don't follow any Mandalorian creed. They're just in it for the money as a bounty hunter. Because Boba Fett does say that he serves no one, I think is the line that he says. But they earn the armor from from Mandalore, other Mandalorians. So it does bring that into fruition. If we want to make the case that they are both Mandalorians, then yes, they are Mandalorians. So one thing that I started thinking about was, we've said before that this season is challenging Mando, challenging Din Djarin on his views of being a true Mandalorian. Last year was This Is the Way. That was it. Then we learned that from the Armorer. Then when Bo-Katan came in, hey, you're a child of the Watch, religious zealots, they're just trying to bring the old way. That's not the way. But that episode ends with Bo-Katan saying, your bravery will not be forgotten. This is the way. Again, the way of the Mandalore is helping your fellow brother, your fellow Mandalorian, keeping true to your word, and it's not this other stuff that you've been doing. And then I think that Boba Fett challenges Din a little bit similar in that scene when, at the end, when Mando says, okay, our debt is paid, the armor belongs to you, you're free to go on your way. And they say, no, we still owe you. I said that until the child is safe, or we're in your debt until the child is safe. So again, it challenges Din. He could have said, you're a bounty hunter, you're just here for your armor, you got your armor, get out of here. Bo says, no. We made a deal. We're in your debt till we help you get the child and make sure he's safe. So again, putting that in his back of his mind of, it's not that old way. It's keeping true to your word. It's backing up your fellow Mandalorians. That's the real way. This is the way of the Mandalore. So I think it challenges him a little bit different, gives another aspect to Boba Fett, that he's not just in it for the money, he's in it for recognition or whatever. It brings a little bit more to the character, as we were saying at the beginning. So yeah, it was awesome. It is Mando adjacent, and yeah, they became allies. And then, so what's going to happen? So there's 2 episodes left this season. We know that that Boba Fett is going to be a part of it somehow. So let's go to it. Razor Crest is gone. So Din is a mode of transportation. We have the Slave One right now. I think it's gonna hurt me say this, but I think that Boba Fett dies by the end of this series. Either sacrifices himself or just dies in battle. I think it's fine. I think his purpose this season has been served a little bit, especially for fans like me that wanted to see more from the character, knew that he survived, bring back that lore, give him more substance. You still have 2 more episodes to go with him that he can still add to it, add to the fight, expand the universe, expand Dean's story, help get Grogu back. But I think by the end he dies, and it's gonna be sad for me. But I think it's what's gonna happen. Um, the squad is gonna be legit. Yeah, I said it last week, and I'll say it now because I thought I'll switch Cup Bath. But if we get by the end of the episode of the season, Din Djarin, Bo-Katan, Cup Bath, let's throw him in there. Boba Fett, Cara Dune. Those are 5. And again, if Bo-Katan is there, Axe Wolves, we get, I always forget her name, Sasha Banks' character. I know you guys said at the beginning. Whatever, you'll tell me in a minute. So you're saying a series, Candace. You say you call a series for Boba Fett. Again, it's been rumored there's gonna be a series. I thought it was gonna be before this. But again, there's not a lot that you can do in those. I mean, you can do a lot in those 6 years, but if he lost his armor pretty quickly getting out of the Sarlacc pit, that I don't know. Series moving forward from this season, then again, there's a lot you can do. Give me more Boba Fett. I'm fine with it. But at the same time, if that's it for the character, then that's it. I'm satisfied. They did a lot with him. So, Koska Reeves, thank you. Koska Reeves. If we got Bo-Katan, Koska Reeves, Axe Wolf, Boba Fett, Cobb Vanth, Mando, who's going? I know he has the Dark Troopers and the Dark Saber, but that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. So, do I think Gideon might kill him? He would go out like a warrior at least. I think it is. I think it's going to happen. A lot of people have been saying maybe Bo-Katan is the one that gets killed at the end of the season. Of course, Ahsoka's not going to be. I don't know if Ahsoka shows up again. We'll see. But I think you can flip Bo-Katan to Boba Fett as the one dying at the end of the season. Who dies? Who dies in Star Wars? No one dies, apparently, which I'm fine with it. I need my first drink of water. I've always... Give me a second. Okay, so then we move to Fennec Shand. Last time we saw her, she was left for dead on that same episode, Chapter 5, the Gunslinger. She was left for dead. We saw the Stranger that we all saw is that everyone thought it was going to be Boba Fett because of the Spurs sound. I switched my tune a little bit to Cat Bane, but now we're back. We know there was Boba Fett. Just in Ahsoka and Bo, they can take them all down. I don't know. It's going to be difficult. I mean, Ahsoka, yeah. I think Ahsoka chomps through them, but if they're made of Beskar, those Dark Troopers, then I don't know. Yes, you'll die if they don't get Grogu back. We'll get to it in a minute. Man, this episode is going to be long, which I love. All right, so Fennec Shand, I said it last year when I did my recap that you don't get an actress like Ming-Na Wen just to have her for one episode and kill her off. She was going to show up. There were rumors before the season started that she was going to show up again. Here she is, being the badass that she is, up on that ridge, sniping everyone. I love when she shows up. And when Mando hears her, she says, "Oh, I can't remember what she said." But then he turns around, "Fennec Shand? I thought it was going to be Fennec Shand? You survived, you son of a..." It's the way he delivered that line. I think he was going to say something else. "You, come on. I thought I killed you." Well, I got robot stomach now, which I don't know where Boba Fett got those robot parts and performed the surgery. That'll be something to learn. But so then we have that great scene of her shooting all the troopers. When that first trooper transport comes down, she's shooting everyone from the ridge. Mando comes to help her when the second one comes. I love that gun when they start blasting her with that repeater rifle or whatever that was. And then she just pushes the rock down, starts stumbling. You see that it starts to break down a little bit, the bolder, but it wasn't gonna. Then he just rolls over. Who's saying that it was a filler? Oh, you're talking about chapter 5 again. And I think I said from back then, chapter 5, the stranger, sorry, the gunslinger wasn't my favorite. It was my least favorite of season 1. But I said it's not a filler because of Dave Filoni. I've called a lot of his episodes on Clone Wars and Rebels fillers. Doing my rewatch of Rebels, no episode is a filler. I haven't finished yet, but no episode is a filler. Even AP5, I'm an AP5 fan now, which I didn't like him at all last year. It all makes sense. So, yeah. Is Grogu gonna turn to the dark side? We saw him at the end. With Yodiro confirmed. Come on, Autorim, if you knew, because they all can tell you, don't steal my spotlight. That's one of my topics. I'm gonna get to it in a minute. By the end, we'll talk about Grogu going to the dark side. It's not. It's misdirection, but and yes, Dave always has a plan. So Fennec Shan showing all her skills with the rifle, shooting all the stormtroopers down, but then she's getting overwhelmed. There's too many of them, and then she does the great falling backward, shooting everyone down, which was a great shot, great action scene by Robert Rodriguez. But it reminded me of something. Look at that. That's a great shot. This is a great Western. You'd love to see this. And I'm watching this yesterday for the second time late at night. I've seen this before. Where have I seen this before? Oh, maybe it's another Robert Rodriguez film called Desperado. Look at that. Desperado, Antonio Banderas falling backwards, jumping from a roof, shooting at other banditos, trying to get him. Very similar to what we saw yesterday, which I guess is a great nod to his work. We love seeing it. We talked about it when I know Dale is there. Outer Rim stealing my thunder, Dale. You tell him. We talked about this in episode 2 with Frog Lady. No, sorry. Episode 3, Eris, that Bryce Howard directed, doing that homage to Apollo 13 from her dad. So I love seeing this now. Robert Rodriguez bringing back one of his iconic movies and that great move, falling backwards, shooting everyone down. So yeah, that was great. So let's get to our friend, the lead of this show, our friend Din Djarin Mando. So like I mentioned at the beginning, we get a great visuals coming into Tython, seeing the sacred mountain, the way the ship is turning, the shots from inside, outside were great. And I didn't think we were going to get this episode. I said it last week. I don't think they're getting to Tython. I don't think he's going to call out to any Jedis. We're not going to see any Jedi. That's not going to happen. I was 100% sure we weren't going to get it, especially not the next episode, because episode 1, we saw Boba Fett. I thought episode 2, here we go. We're continuing Boba Fett's story. No, it didn't happen. Something totally different. Oh, we go Bo-Katan, and a mention of Ahsoka. What's going to happen now? It's not that. They're going somewhere else. We didn't get Bo-Katan. We didn't get Ahsoka. Now we got Ahsoka last week. Oh, take him to Tython so he can reach out to the Jedi. It's not going to happen. They're not going to do that back to back. Here we go. It happened. So totally surprised in a positive way. So great that it went. I changed my tune on what I thought was going to happen. I'll talk about it in a minute. Din Djarin doing what we all do, what we all did last week. When we learned Grogu's name, and Ahsoka called him Grogu, and Din called him Grogu, he would, look up, his ears would move. He would be very excited hearing his name. We all said, oh, that's so cute, that's so fun. He's being that parent. Excuse me. How does the episode start? With him the same way. He's us. Grogu? Who? He just wants to see their reaction because he knows it's funny or adorable. It's cute. He's finally connecting to this child. So I love to see that. It brings, I think, Candace, I think you said it on Twitter either yesterday or today. This might be the first time that we see Dean smiling or hear him smiling, laughing, giggling. It's the first time that came from little Grogu. Too much emphasis. So there's a lot of emphasis, especially this episode, of Mando telling Grogu, you need to go with the Jedi if they come looking for you. You're too powerful. I can't train you. I agreed to take you to them, and that's what I plan to do. So at first I was thinking, I know we all say that they have this connection and he's not gonna let him go, but he's kind of pushing it. He's just, no, you gotta go. That's what I'm supposed to do. Take you to a Jedi. That's your people. And then, no, that's not really what he's doing. He's saying this to hide his own feelings from himself. It's when you have to let something go and you don't want to, you tell yourself that you don't need it. So I think that's what he's doing. He's trying to convince himself that he's not attached to the child, to Grogu, and that he needs to let him go and he's fine. I'm fine. I don't, it doesn't matter. You need to go. That's, he just convincing himself, but he knows when the time comes, he can't do it. So he's putting that on him. When they come, you have to go. I can't train you. You're too powerful. You go. I said I'm gonna take you there. So this is off my hands. It's gonna. I don't know how that's gonna play out, or it won't be this season. We'll see. But I love that. Um, I love when he said, "Oh, it's too small out there. I can't land. We'll have to do this final bit with the windows down." Jetpacking over there, a great shot. That's a Superman shot, right? He's just holding Louis Lane flying through the skyline of Metropolis, basically. So you have Din Djarin holding Grogu just flying through the skyline of Titan. It's a great visual. Love it. Um, and of course, he doesn't know. Does this look Jedi to you? It's the Sin Stone. Are you seeing anything? Are you contacting them or are they contacting you? He has no idea what's going on. He doesn't know anything about Jedi. He sees Boba Fett. Are you a Jedi? I mean, he did have a robe with a little cape and a hood, so maybe. But yeah, so it's a fun interaction, comes out of nowhere. And then he sees slave one, like I said. And he said, okay, sorry, time to go, kid. We don't have time for this. Force field goes up. He finally making that connection. He has his little fingers touching at this, meditating. I said, okay, I gotta grab you. Boom, gets knocked down. Love that. I'm like, come on, finally he made contact or he's reaching out and now you're gonna pull him out. No. The Force has other ideas. You're not gonna take him now. So love seeing that he sees slave one. That happened. He's like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can buy you some time. Goes down and they meets Boba and goes through all that stuff. Comes back when the transport, the New Republic, the Empire transport comes, which is very similar to that First Order troop transport that we saw at the beginning of The Force Awakens and all through the sequel trilogy. So then again, it's going through that. What? No. Is this me? Did I say Groot? Oh no, a million macaroons, Geeky Waffle. Oh man, I gotta get my wallet ready. Did I say Groot? I gotta do the playback. If I say Groot, I'll send you something. It won't be 1,000 macaroons, but. And Dale is saying, I think from a child's perspective, Grogu might take it as he's not wanted or he belongs with the Jedi, and that the person who has been training him is Gideon. That's right. The last couple of, I don't know how long it's been, a few months. It's been with the guy training him has been Gideon. He thinks, oh, okay, I get you now. He thinks he associates Gideon with the Jedi. That'd be another interesting point if he sees another Jedi and then, all right, you're confirming that I did. Okay, I'll send you a drawing of some macaroons or something. So when that second transporter comes, he tries to get Grogu, Grogu, whatever you spell it. He tries to grab him again twice, and both times he gets knocked over. No, you're not taking him. He said, okay, I'm going to go protect you. Just try to hurry up. And he leaves. I'm sure everyone went, what the hell are you doing? Don't leave him alone. We know what's going to happen. Don't leave Grogu alone. He leaves him alone, goes help Fennec Shand with all the troopers, and I love that scene. He gets there for backup, starts shooting everyone. She's like, oh, we're outnumbered, or it's not looking good. I've seen worse. You didn't. Season 1. At the end of season 1, you saw worse than this. His Beskar is taking all the shots. That Beskar is really taking a beating this season. But then Boba Fett comes in and has that great action scene that we talked about already. Razor Crest gets blown up to smithereens, 1,000 pieces. Again, sorry, Dale. The only thing that survived, that little shift knob that has become so important, so emotional. We saw it in season one. Oh yeah, he wants to play with it, and that's the little thing that reminded Dean that he has a humanity, and that baby Grogu needs help, and you're that person who's gonna help him. It's still playing. It's still so important. It's one of the things that survive is that silver knob, and of course the best coach staff he got last week. So then the question comes: Razor Crest is gone, out of commission. You can't save it. You can't put it back together. The Mon Calas can help you. Um, Grief Karga's crew can help you. So we'll see. So now, I said it a few weeks ago. That ship is taking a beating. Do I think he's gonna get another ship at some point? I think he was going to anyway. He got fixed at the end of 2 episodes again, and then no, don't send baby. Come on, what am I doing? Don't send Grogu's lawyers. No, I'll change my address. I'll move out. I'll cancel my show. So anyway, so Razor Crest is gone. So what ship is Mando gonna be flying? Slave One is there. I think, like I said, Boba Fett is not gonna make it out of this season, and then Slave One becomes Mando's ship. Or maybe if he does survive, he does give him, hey, I don't need it anymore. I got my armor. I'm too old for this BS. You'll take it. Do we get another Razor Crest? Does he find another Razor Crest somewhere? Or I know you know where I'm going, Outer Rim reads. Does he get a gauntlet fighter? That Mando gauntlet fighter that Night Owls have, the one that Darth Maul had on Rebels. Does he get that ship? That Mandalorian ship? I posted that a few weeks ago. If we see that design live action, that's gonna, oh man, yeah, Razor Crest, you're cool, but you're nothing compared to a Gauntlet Starfighter. So hopefully that happens. So then the Dark Troopers come, take Grogu, and he tells, no, don't shoot, don't hurt the child. He goes back to Navarro before that. So yes, he leaves his jetpack. Boba Fett told him, put your jetpack down when they're doing that deal. He didn't go back to it. If he found his jetpack, he could have flown back and saved, or at least fought to try to save Grogu. He did what all parents do, and what a lot of people do. You have to be a parent when something happens out of nowhere that you're caught off guard. Best example that I could say, it's a few years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago. I'm inside my house, hear dogs barking. I look out the door, I see a dog running, a husky. We have a husky, I used to have one. Look exactly like my dog. No. Okay, I'm gonna take it. No, I'll come back to this. I want to finish this before Dale. I'll finish this thought before. So I see a husky running down the road, and I freak out. I think it's my dog. I don't grab shoes. I don't grab my phone. I don't grab a leash. I just open the door, start running. Because, oh, I gotta get my dog. I don't want him to get run over. I didn't think about anything else. He takes a corner. And then I start coming back to the house because I realized I don't have anything. Again, I didn't think about nothing. It's just my dog, and I go save him. I didn't think about grabbing anything or doing one very important thing. When I start coming back and telling my wife, oh, the dog's gone, Logan's gone, she's, no, look in the backyard. He's there sleeping. That's another dog. So again, if I was in a right mindset, I could have looked, I see a dog running, look in the backyard, no, my dog's there, that's not mine. No, I just went with my emotions, started running. So that's what Din Djarin did. He didn't think, if you could have stopped for 5 seconds, let me get my jetpack. But again, something that you care about is in danger. You're not in the right mindset. He just bolted. So understand what happened to him. All right, so that happens. He goes back to Navarro on Slave One, meets New Republic Marshal Cara Dune. We need to bust Mayfield out of there. I need him to help me find a Moff Gideon light cruiser. And I'm thinking, why Mayfield? How is he gonna know how to find this light cruiser? And then I remembered, because he used to be part of the Empire. In that episode, again, that was one of my favorite episodes last season. A lot of people call it filler because it didn't seem like it didn't expand on the actual story of season 1. But it did in changing Mando's perspective of who he was. He's no longer a bounty hunter. He's a Mandalorian going forward. The prisoner was him a prisoner of his old beliefs from that crew, breaking from that, moving forwards. That was the point of the episode. A lot of people call it filler. Even if it was back then, look where we are now. I need that guy that had a line saying, I wasn't a stormtrooper. I worked for the Empire, but I wasn't a stormtrooper because I didn't miss. And now that's paying off again because you need him to find Moff Gideon in wherever he is. So great. And for everyone out there that thinks that Cosca Reeves is not coming back because Sasha Banks said, I only did one episode. I'm not going to be there next season. Bill Burr said, I only did one episode. I haven't done anything else with Star Wars. No. He just got mentioned. I'm pretty sure he's going to find him at next episode. So next episode, bring in the crew back. But before we go, as I was going to come back to this, we're talking about what ship could Mando now commandeer, be in charge of, or what's going to be his next ship, another Razor Crest, a Gauntlet Starfighter, Slave One, and then Dale drops this bomb. What about the Ghost? Come on, I don't know where the Ghost is. Candace, if you know, Rebels, Ahsoka, he can join Ahsoka, be part of the Ghost crew, the new Ghost crew. He goes to go find Ezra. He's part of the, oh my goodness. Come on, Dale, you're doing a lot. You're doing, yes. Season 1, there's a lot of stuff from Season 1 coming back. So then we have Grogu. Let's talk about Grogu. So he's doing this Jedi training with Din Djarin on the Razor Crest. Gets a little nub and he, Dan Farrick. No, I'm happy. So Dan Farrick is what's like F yeah, or God damn it, something that works both ways. He gets put on. They walk into the Magic Mountain, the Seeing Stone, this special mountain, strong in the forest, and we see the blue butterflies. As soon as I saw them, okay, this is gonna have some meaning. I started thinking I've seen blue butterflies before. My sense comes from the Darth Vader comic by Charles Soule, that 25-issue run that gives a glimpse of Anakin losing his humanity, slowly falling deeper and deeper into the dark side. And the way that's shown is with a lot of butterflies around him. Every time he commits a dark deed, there's less butterflies when he goes into meditation. So the light side is slowly fading away. So here we can see the butterflies, and I believe they've been shown somewhere else, and a lot of people use them to talk about Ben Solo and that connection. But the butterflies represent the light side of the Force. So this Jedi Temple obviously is strong in the light side. They're attached to Grogu. They follow him. He pulls his hand up, trying to grab one. So again, has that connection. He has this connection to the light side. It was great seeing that. He reaches out to the Force, which I didn't think was going to happen. And then we have this blue force field surround him. We talk all about that. He stops the force field, or he stops reaching out to the Force after Dean leaves, and then something's going to happen. He's taken by the Dark Troopers. I need a break. I got to take a quick drink. And we knew it was happening when we saw the title, the tragedy. We knew baby Grogu was gonna leave his daddy, was gonna be taken. And so that happened. It's still sad, but then it changes what's gonna happen for the next 2 episodes. Then Moff Gideon, as we knew, he follows the tracker back to Tython. He knows he's gonna be there. VCX 100. That goes VCX 100 will be a hell of a ship. That initial laser shot that destroyed the Razor Crest, I thought was for the mountain. I thought they were gonna destroy the mountain. I don't know what's gonna happen to Grogu at that point. Dark Troopers come down. They look awesome. Those red visors are great with the dark chrome, the black chrome. They didn't do a lot, just grab Grogu and left. So I'm sure they're gonna be more involved in the next 2 episodes. When Grogu gets captured, we see him using the dark side. He's choking troopers, throwing them to the walls. Very Luke Skywalker at the beginning of Return of the Jedi. But I think that is going to be it's a red herring. It's misdirection. He used the dark side in season 1 when he force chokes Cara Dune when she's sparring with Mando, and he tells her, "No, we're friends," and he's fine. But we see him here using the dark side a lot. I think it's a red herring. A lot of people have been saying, "What does he go to the dark? What does he go to the dark side?" I think they're pushing to that, but it's not going to happen. Dean is gonna bring him back. He's not gonna fall. He's not going the Anakin way. Dean will bring him back before he goes too far into it. He's a child of trauma. We learned this last week, and then unfortunately now he's put back in that same situation. He's going back to it, like you guys mentioned here. The only Jedi training, or he might associate the Jedi with the Dark Saber and Moff Gideon. Maybe he's the one training him this past few years. So he's put back in that trauma that if you just came out of it and are finally developing that relationship with someone, feel comfortable with someone, opening up, you give them your name, you start talking, and now that's ripped from you and you're put back in that same bad, evil situation. That has to do a lot for him. So I understand why he's like, oh, dark side, chokey. Well, he'll be fine. And then, okay, put him in binders. The smallest, cutest force binders ever. They gotta be like this big. Like that big to go again over his wrists, but they're great. All right. So that was it for this episode of The Mandalorian. Like I mentioned, it's my favorite episode so far this season, probably the whole series. Touched all the notes, brought my guy back, Boba Fett, made great on him. Everyone is loving on him. Yes, like Outer Rim, that silver ball is gonna come back. Maybe that's what pulls him back to the light. That's great. That's gonna be awesome. So yeah, this episode had everything that I wanted. So what to expect the next two for the final two? I gotta go to my phone. I didn't have time to write it down. Sorry guys, I was running late. It's been an hour. Still haven't talked about Empire Strikes Back, but we're finishing up. All right. So the last two episodes. So first, like I said before, I think I said it. I thought Grogu was going to be taken at the end of season 2, and then season 3 was going to be the search for Grogu, and something else, the Darksaber, will be done. But it just moved forward. So that's happening the next two episodes. Next episode is putting the gang back together, get Mayfield. I hope he gets Bo-Katan. Hopefully he gets Cobb Vanth. We have Boba Fett. So it's going to be a great team. Cara Dune didn't want to go when she heard, oh, they took the child. I think she's going to be in it. So there's a great team that he's forming. They're going to show up next week and for the final one. I said, this is when I changed my tune from last week. I said, we're not going to see another Jedi. He's not going to be put on the mountain temple. He's not going to reach out. And if he reaches out, no Jedi will come. So I'm changing my tune of what I think is going to happen. I think that we will see a Jedi by the end of the season. I think that that's going to be the big cliffhanger. It's going to be a Jedi that reaches out, or not reaches out, but that feels that change in the Force. Because he spent too much time on that Sin Stone to not be felt by someone. Maybe someone from the dark side, maybe even Snoke. But I think it's going to be felt by a Jedi or a light side user. Ahsoka knows about it, or someone else. And I didn't want it. Maybe it's Luke Skywalker. Maybe the season ends with Luke Skywalker feeling something in the Force. Is it a DH Mark Hamill? Is it Bucky Barnes out there? I think it's going to happen. Or Thrawn was mentioned. And this is when might be getting too much. But Thrawn was mentioned last week. A lot of people wanted Thrawn, Outer Rim reads. And I said, no, we're not gonna. Come on, I just said it. Don't steal my thunder, man. Don't steal my thunder, Outer Rim reads. You're gonna be my co-host from the chat. So yes, this is what I'm getting at. I think, and this is gonna blow everyone out, and I'm now 100% on board. I wasn't last week. He spent too much time on that Sin Stone, reaching out to not be sensed by someone. The greatest thing would be if the person that feels him is Ezra, they pull back and he's withdrawn. Outer Rim, unknown regions, working together against each other, I have no idea. But if they do that, we'll put a bow on this season, end this season, all those open notes out there. If he reaches out, Ezra feels him in the Force, and he's with Thrawn. Working together against, I don't know, still flying around with Purgles, who knows? I think that's the way to end this season. And if that then moves forward to season 3, awesome. If that's the Rebel sequel, great. If that's the live action Ahsoka series, great. But I think that's how it's going to end. And I'm going to lose my mind with all of you guys. Also started thinking maybe Moff Gideon doesn't make it past this season. Maybe he dies by the end of the season, and then Thrawn is the big bad for season 3. But I think Giancarlo Esposito already came out and said that he was going to be a part of season 3. So maybe, again, we have flashbacks, but who knows? That's another possibility. He doesn't make it past this season. Right, so before I read that, Dale is saying that Dean has to pull Grogu out of that, from that dark side connection, and he's going to say, tell your sister you were right. I can't leave you. I've got to save you. You already have Luke. You already have get the whole bag. There's a lot. There's a lot they can do. You're also saying there's Ezra, there's Luke, there's Cal Kestis. Ahsoka could realize she was wrong, right? Mace Windu, that's out there right now. Is Mace Windu alive? Maybe reaching with that one. Or a new Jedi. Posted that a few days ago. What about a new Jedi that we don't know about? Could be. But then again, how many Jedi are out there? A lot. Oh man, so I think that brings an end to our recap and review of chapter 14, That Tragedy. Great episode. Love everything about this episode. Can't wait to see it for a 4th or 5th time. Thank you guys for chiming in with all your thoughts. They were great. Again, only 2 episodes left. I don't know. There's a lot of ways that they can go. Like Han Solo would say, there's a lot of ways this can go sideways, and only one that it works. That's why I need my partner. That conversation between him and freaking Woody Harrelson before he betrays him, Beckett. But there's a lot of ways these last 2 episodes can go. All right, so that brings an end to our recap review of this week in Mando Reviews, Chapter 14, The Tragedy. Oh man. Like I said, this episode is going to be a little bit long. We're going to try to finish it by 1 hour and 30. So we got about 23 minutes to talk about Empire Strikes Back in this segment I like to call Star Wars Rewind. And today we are talking episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, which might be considered the greatest sequel, the greatest movie, the greatest Star Wars story out there, Empire Strikes Back. I've always said before I started doing my recaps of all the episodes that Empire Strikes Back is my favorite. And it's hard, not just my favorite Star Wars, but my favorite movie in general. I'm not going to say if that's still the case. I'll leave that for our first episode of season 3 next year, where I'll do my full recap of all my favorites in Star Wars. So yes, Empire Strikes Back. Let's talk about this movie that came out the year I was born, 1980. So there's that connection there. So as always, let's start with the trailer. So I watched the trailer for Empire Strikes Back yesterday, the original one, narrated by Harrison Ford, which is weird in itself, hearing an actor narrating the trailer. It's not like now you have voiceovers of what happens in the movie. It's just, and now the second chapter of the Star Wars saga, we have Luke and Han Solo. It's very weird, but it's funny. It's interesting. There's a lot. They show you a lot in those 2 minutes. We talk about Rogue One and Solo, how much they changed that movie from the trailer to the actual movie. There's 2 scenes that are in the trailer that don't show up in the movie, thank God. At least the first one is this close-up, almost kiss between Luke and Leia when he's getting better from Hoth. Full on mouth-to-mouth. They just cut it right there. So glad I didn't make the movie. And then the scene of C-3PO ripping a warning sign from this door in Hoth, that then I believe that cutscene was they opened the door and there's a bunch of Wampas in there. That would have been fun to see, but we didn't get that. So yeah, the trailer was pretty cool. They show a lot in it anyways, but for a movie that might not even be made, that trailer does a good job. posters. Let me show you guys real quick. So the poster for, there's a lot of, Star Wars does a lot of poster, but I believe this is the main one. It's a very classic poster for Star Wars. We've seen this a lot. We have Han, Leia, the romance, Darth Vader in the back, Luke on his Tauntaun, C-3PO, R2. So a great poster, very emotive, very 80s also, but it's a great Star Wars poster. And that's all I can say about it. So very similar to A New Hope. I didn't see this on the movies when it came out. Didn't see it on the theaters. I saw it on VHS years later, and then so I watched it again when they were re-released in the late 90s, the special editions, and that's when I fell in love with Star Wars. Not again, but when my love for Star Wars really came into was late 90s. That's what I said. This is my favorite thing. Star Wars will always be a part of my life. And this movie, seeing this in a big screen for the first time, it was an eye-opening experience. I had loved the movies before, but since then, it's just taken it to another level. My favorite back then was Return of the Jedi. But when I saw Empire Strikes Back, being 16, 17 years old, when it came out, it just became my favorite from that point on when I walked out of the movies. And I have stayed that way since then, since 98, so 22 years ago, whenever this came out in that special re-release. So yeah, that's my thoughts and my feelings on Empire Strikes Back when I saw them back there. So there's so much to this movie. Like I mentioned, it's maybe the greatest sequel ever, and a lot of people have it as their favorite movie of all time, including myself. We'll see if it changes. It's considered the dark movie of the trilogy. Everything gets compared to it. Oh, it's the second movie, it has to be dark. It needs to throw our heroes in a separate directions. Everything gets compared to Empire Strikes Back when they're trying to make trilogies. How you doing? Salacious Ron, the Monkey Lizard Army is here. He's saying that Empire Strikes Back is almost perfect, just missing a Monkey Lizard or two. They are, maybe could have make it better. So, all right, so Empire Strikes Back. I got my shirt. Let's keep talking about it. We learn a lot more about the Force. Before, we only had Obi-Wan's vision of what the Force is, that he tells Luke in the hut. The Force is a energy that binds us, connects us together, the Jedi and all that stuff. But here, the Force is expanded exponentially. We see Luke using Force Pull to grab the lightsaber from the snow, like in The Force Awakens. We see this with Rey. We see Force Ghost. What the hell is a Force Ghost? There you have it. Last time we only heard Kenobi's voice. Now we see him. And everything happens in Dagobah that we'll talk in a minute. It's a very simple movie. When you start thinking about Empire Strikes Back, the way it's structured, it's very simple. One of the biggest critiques of The Rise of Skywalker is that it's all over the place. It doesn't have time to breathe. It cuts between one scene to the other, doing this planet, the other planet, this. Empire Strikes Back is extremely simple. You have Hoth, and you have Vader in his Superstar Destroyer. Then you have Dagobah with Luke, and you have Han in the asteroid field with the Star Destroyer, so still the same structure, and then everyone's on Bespin, on Cloud City. So it's very simple. Hoth, Dagobah, Cloud City, and a couple of ships. That's it. That's the structure of the movie. Very simple to follow. You don't get lost. You don't know what's going on, but it's the writing, it's the acting, and it's all the mythology behind it. That's what makes me want to come back to this movie. It has, our heroes are separated. It's something that happens now every time. Second movie, our heroes get separated. They fight against each other, so they have to find a way to work together separately for the same mission, I guess. Didn't say that properly, but you know what I'm trying to get at. It has my guy, Boba Fett, makes his first appearance here. I know, yeah, the holiday special, doesn't matter. It's Empire Strikes Back. The greatest twist in movie history with "No, I'm your father, I am your father." The greatest twist, and the one that gets told wrongly the most by people saying, "Luke, I am your father." No, that's not it. It's "No, I am your father." We have that great bounty hunter lineup: Boba Fett, IG-88, Dengar, Bosk, Forlom, all those guys. No disintegration. It's all part of Star Wars. It all came from this movie. We had the introduction of Lando Calrissian and his story in Cloud City, which is great. Everything on Dagobah. I'll talk about it. I might just jump to that because, like I said, I'm running a little bit behind, and Dagobah is my favorite part of Empire Strikes Back. The mythology behind the Force is my favorite thing in Star Wars. And if I could just get the Dagobah scene, those 10 or 15 minutes, just that hobbled together without all the cutscenes, I will be the happiest person ever. So Dagobah is my favorite part. That's when you learn so much about what the Force is, the light side, the dark. Once you go to you fall to the dark side, it forever will dominate your destiny. I love that so much. Like I mentioned, new force powers. We see the Imperial might, what they really are, all these Star Destroyers, bombing Hoth. We have the AT-AT walkers, the Imperial walkers, the Super Star Destroyer. You have this Imperial might that's not letting you breathe. Everything is in this movie. Our heroes are on the run. They're failing at every turn. They they have to evacuate. They barely make it. It's too much. We have the great romance between Han and Leia. Another great quote in Star Wars. I love you. I know. Can't say anything else about that. We have the first mention of a Jedi Master. Back then oh yeah, your father was a Jedi Knight. Now we hear, oh, go to Dagobah, Yoda, the Jedi Master that trained me. So again, building on that, the dark side cave, a domain of evil. What's in there? Only what you take with you. It took me so long to understand what that scene meant. Being younger, just watching that cave scene in Dagobah, Darth Vader's there, he chops his head off, and then Luke shows up. I don't know what that means, but it's cool, but you failed. I didn't get it. Years later, I understand, no, it's right there. If you fall to the dark side, forever will it dominate your destiny. If you kill Darth Vader in anger, you'll become him. You'll be an agent of evil. It's right there. As a kid, looks cool. As you get older, you start getting all these meanings behind it. So that's when people say Star Wars is for kids. It also has all these adult themes, but as kids, you start learning them, and you take more of that as you get older. So that's the setup. That's everything else from Empire Strikes Back. Before we start talking about the characters, and let's start. There's too much to say about it. So Luke goes from the sands of Tatooine, just wanted to do more with his life, to now being in this frozen planet in Hoth, almost getting killed by a Wampa, somehow saying, I'm going to trust the Force and pull this lightsaber out of the snow. We've never seen that before. Where did he get the idea to do that? I don't know. But he's this kid a few years ago that wasn't trust with anything, and now he's leading the snow speeder attack on the walkers. He's the one leading that attack. So he's grown a lot. I know that now there's a lot of stories between the two movies and the comic books and stuff of that sort, but we didn't get this before. So just seeing his progression as a character, as a hero, this kid that was just anxious to do something. I want to prove myself, to now being a general, basically, and leading command. It's a great character moment for him. When he meets Yoda, his facial reaction response, when he finally realizes that Yoda, that green creature that's been pestering him for the past 30 minutes, is a great Jedi. Yoda, when Yoda says, oh, I can't train him. When he realizes that, Mark Hamill did a great job acting that scene, and I love it. And then we have Leia leading the evacuation of Hoth. Again, she's a princess, but she's a general. She's going to do everything that she can to help people out. She's not just staying behind the scenes. She's leading the evacuation out of Hoth. He has that scruffy-looking, half-witted, nerf herder jab at Han Solo, always with the great quips. Great scene when the Falcon is not working. She, oh, would it help if I got out and push? It might. And she's hiding her feelings. We just talked about Din Djarin hiding his true feelings about Grogu and having to let him go when he knows he can't. I've always said that before, I didn't see that relationship between Han and Leia. It always seemed forced to me. voice, haha. Um, but talking to Force of Light a few months ago, I listened to the show about Empire Strikes Back, and then when I have them on my here a few months ago, it brought something different. It's not that the romance or the connection is in there. It's that Leia is hiding it. She doesn't want to. She's hiding her feelings towards Han. I'm sure something happened between A New Hope and Empire. They had a fling or something, but she's like, no, I'm a general, I'm a princess. He's only in it for the money. He's gonna leave anyways. I don't want to get too attached to him. So she's fighting those emotions, but it's there. It just, again, as a younger kid, you don't sense it, but you can see it in the way they look at each other, the way she tries to keep him, but not really. It's there. It just takes a little bit more of looking into it. Um, She's always wary of Lando Calrissian from the beginning, so she knew he's gonna be a bad. Those scoundrels, you gotta love them. She knew there was something there, but it's a great. She does another great portrayal by Carrie Fisher here. Moves the character forward from just this princess general that did a lot in A New Hope, but keeps that character moving. We've talked about it here before. A lot of people talk about it, how Padme Amidala changed from episode 1 to episode 2 to 3, from this person going to her plan saying, I can't stay here. I'm not going to stay here and debate while my people are dying, Senator. That's your job. I'm going to go fight. To then just being a politician in the background. Leia, no, she's front and center from the beginning. So then we get Han Solo. He wants to leave the rebellion because bounty hunters are still on his track. He still has a bounty on his head. But still, we talk about families. We talk about parental relationship, found families. Han loves Luke like no one else. And I saw that watching this movie. The way he looks at him, he cares for Luke like nothing else. He risks his life to go find him on Hoth. You're gonna die. Your tauntaun is gonna freeze before you find him. Then I'll see you in hell. I'm gonna go get him. And then when they bring him back, I found him, and they come back. He's in the back that tank. He comes out, and Luke is in the hospital bed or whatever. The way Han looks at him, the way he talks to him, is very caring. It's not this guy that doesn't care, just in it for the moment, for the money. There's a great relationship there that he really cares about Luke Skywalker, calling him kid before. There's that relationship there. Yeah, Dale, what's the temperature rating of a tauntaun on Hoth? Lukewarm. Haha, we got it. I got that question. I left my job that I had for almost 12 years a few months ago. Started a new job in September. Same area, very close to where I was before, so I'm still in contact with all of them. So I was leaving, they did a Zoom farewell party. Well, I'm going to ask you a few Star Wars questions to see if you're really a fan. Come on, bring it on. I didn't miss one. I missed one, but that's fine. They had this question. I'm like, come on, it's lukewarm. We all know that. But it's a great one. It's a great one. And then we have, of course, the great Carbonite scene. I love you. I know, still brings a tear to my eye, even though I know it's coming. Because it comes from a character that you don't expect is going to say that. And Leia's finally said her shield over her heart is broken. She has to say it because she might not see him again. And he's like, I know. Vader. Let's talk about Darth Vader real quick. So this is the first time that we hear the Imperial March. The Imperial March is so attached to Vader on the dark side, but we didn't hear it once during A New Hope. It's brand new to Empire Strikes Back. We hear it every time Vader shows up, the Imperial March shows up. Probably my second or third favorite musical theme in Star Wars. We see his Super Star Destroyer, which eclipses all other Star Destroyers. It's my favorite Vader suit, my favorite Darth Vader suit. It looks so great. So first one, the eyes were a little bit red, so we see through. Here's everything's black. The way David Prowse, rest in peace, the way he portrayed Vader just standing there is so ominous. We said it last week or 2 weeks ago, talking about A New Hope. Just that slight movement that he does are so ominous and scary. He doubles down here in Empire Strikes Back, the way he portrays Vader, and that suit is just great. He goes on a choking spree. He's just choking Admiral also for being clumsy as he is stupid. He chokes Captain Nida for apology accepted. You lost them in the meteor field or whatever. So he goes on a choking spree, choking everyone. We saw the meditation chamber for yeah, you know it. The meditation chamber for Vader for the first time. We saw him without his helmet. We see all these scars. He's bald. Something's wrong with him. You don't know what it is, because we didn't know the story back there. But we saw that all around. Asteroids don't concern me, Admiral. I want that ship. No excuses. Again, Vader. People say, "Oh, that's not the Vader in Rogue One with his little quips to Krennic." That's Vader, 100%, and we love him. And he's great in this movie. It's his movie basically. Um, but then we also learned that she's not the big bad. We saw it. Tarkin might be gone, but apology accepted, Captain Nida. With your life, now you're in command. Um, we learned that he works for someone. He's not the big bad. We heard the Emperor a little bit in A New Hope when Krennic said when Tarkin says, "Oh, the Emperor has dissolved the Senate, and now the regional governors are the ones that respond that go directly to him." But here we hear again, "Oh, the Emperor commands you to make communication with him. Oh, get us out of the asteroid field so we can send a clear transmission." Who the hell is the Emperor, right? If Vader's this scared that he's being commanded, we see the Emperor for the first time. I know the weird one at the original movie, but then we have Ian McDermott here, and we see the Emperor. Oh, there's a disturbance in the Force. Have you felt it? Oh, yes, maybe he can be turned. The son of Skywalker can never become a Jedi. And that great conversation is here. That's what this movie is. All those great scenes that builds on Star Wars come from this movie. Um, and of course, we have the Darth Vader launch date on Hoth. And I know it's expanded now on the From a Certain Point of View, Empire Strikes Back novel, which I haven't read, but it's so weird. Why does Darth Vader sitting in this banquet hall with this long table and plates and everything set for him? But again, it's just fun. It's fun stuff. Yoda, this crazy old creature with a walking stick, backwards talking. He's a puppet. Is this gonna work? Is he a Muppet? It's the greatest thing ever. It's the greatest Jedi Master. Not my favorite Jedi, but when I go to understanding the Force, I always go to the teachings of Yoda. For me, Yoda has never been written wrong. Everything that he says or he has done, I'm all for it. Dale, you're saying that you were 7 and you thought Yoda was going to take us or Luke to the Great Warrior. Yeah, again, you were like, "Luke, take us to these great waters. I will. Wars don't make one great." He's trolling Luke, like you just said. You can get your ship out. Ha 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 ha. Oh, come, let's eat. He's banging R2 with his little stick. Let me eat that weird thing that you have. Give me your torchlight. Hey, Natalie, how you doing? Hi, Natalie from Force of Light Entertainment. Thanks for joining us. You came great. I know I said before I tried to end this in about an hour. We've been running long today, which is fine. We had a great conversation about the last Mandalorian episode, chapter talking about Boba Fett and everything that happened. We've been talking for the past 20, 25 minutes about Empire Strikes Back. Got a few more to go, so let's keep going. But Natalie, thanks for being here. You guys had your live stream also reviewing chapter 14, the tragedy of the Mandalorian earlier today. I'm sorry I didn't make it, but I'll check it out later. Everyone out there, make sure to go check Force of Light's live stream. And I didn't say it before, Candace was here from Geeky Waffle. They also have their live stream tonight at 8. And I believe they have E.K. Johnston, the writer from some great Star Wars novels, going to be joining them. So make sure you guys go check that out. Also, yeah, Yoda, wars make no one great. And then especially hearing that now, after we know everything that happened in the Clone Wars, the fall of the Republic, and then Yoda knows. We just went through this 30 years ago or 20 years ago. We went to this great war. We lost. We lost right from the beginning. So wars don't make you great. we just lost the rebellion, the galaxy, the light side lost because we decided to fight in this war instead of going a different direction. So yeah, it's Yoda's my favorite in this movie. But yeah, wars make no one great takes a different meaning now after everything happens in the Clone Wars. Fighting R2 for the light, like I said, talking about Yoda, powerful Jedi he was, yeah. And then, of course, like I said, when he says, I can't train him, the boy has no patience. And then we hear Kenobi, oh, was I any different? And then Luke realizes, oh, this is Yoda. I've been talking to Yoda all this time. I just haven't realized it. For 800 years, I've been training Jedi. I know who I need to train. You're not ready. I'll tell you who's ready. Much anger I sense in you, just like his father. Again, back then, it's great to hear that. Now, after Clone Wars, after the prequel trilogy, hearing Yoda says, I can't train him, he has a lot of anger, the same way that his father did, it is 100% different because Yoda was there for the fall of Anakin Skywalker. He knows what he's talking about. I'm sorry, I think I'm just going to quote everything that Yoda said in this movie. And then he goes, a Jedi must have the deepest commitment, the most serious mind. This one, a long time have I watched. All his life, he has looked away to the future, to the horizon. And that's who Luke is. That's who Luke was when we met him in A New Hope. Staring out to the binary sunset, always looking to the future, trying to be more than he was. Adventure, excitement. A Jedi craves not these things, but that's Luke. That's what makes Luke a different type of Jedi, but Yoda's wary of that and doesn't want to train him because he knows what excitement and adventure can do to a Jedi, i.e. his dad, Anakin Skywalker. But he knows he needs to train him one way or another. Even if he's ready or not, he knows he needs to train Luke anyways. Then we go to everything that has to deal with the Force. Like I mentioned, that's my favorite part of Star Wars. It's the Force. So a Jedi's strength flows through the Force, but beware the dark side, anger, fear, aggression. Is the dark side stronger? No. Quicker, easier, more seductive. We had a conversation a few days ago, me and a few people talking about great Jedis. Oh, it's Ahsoka, great Jedi. Quinlan Voss, Qui-Gon Jinn, and I don't believe in great Jedi's. And everything's here. All the quotes from Yoda in this one are special. And then, is the dark side stronger? No, it's quicker, easier, more seductive. The Jedi use the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack. I can keep going. So, we have the cave scene again. Only what you take with you. What will I find there? Only what you take with you. Your anger, your knowledge, your compassion. Leave your weapons. You don't need them. It's all inside you. And of course, Luke fails because he sees Darth Vader, goes straight to the anger. I need to save my friends. But then we go to the great scene of I need you to pull the X-wing out of the water. You're trying, it falls down. Rocks are one thing. Go pull your X-wing out of the water. Okay, I'll try. No, do or do not. There is no try. That's it right there. And understand, no, of course you have to try. It makes no sense. And I think Rebels, Kanan says it. And then Ezra, what does that mean? I don't know. It's something that Yoda says. It's there. It makes sense. When you're afraid to do something, you have to commit to it. When you're going to do something, you need to commit to it. You can't just half-ass it, right? So Yoda's telling Luke, you just don't go and try it. You're going to do it. You have to have that mentality. You focus yourself on the Force, clear your mind of everything, and you do. That's why he emphasizes and points at Luke, do or do not. So if you're just going to try it, if you don't believe in yourself, don't even worry about it. Get in the mindset, forget about everything else. It's you and the ship. So I understand that do or do not, there is no try. Again, it's that emphasis. You can just say the quote, do or do not, there is no try. Haha, yes, it's funny. No, it's that emphasis on do or do not. It's there. It's all on you, man. I can't help you. We know this about Star Wars. Some point it's on you. You face Vader, I can't help you, like Obi-Wan says. So this is you, man. You have to commit, believe in yourself, and pull that X-Wing out of the water. He doesn't. You ask the impossible, pulls it out. Oh, I don't believe it. That is why you fail. Again, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe here in this context that you can control the Force to pull that ship out of the water, then yes, it will be unbelievable. But it's all on you, man. You gotta put the work, put the dedication in there. So again, everything that Yoda says, it's judge me by my size, do you? And then here, this is talking about the Force. Why is the Force so important? Why do I love the Force so much? Is this quote: "Judge me by my size, do you? For my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is. Life creates it, makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us and binds us. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. Feel the Force around you." Again, it's and the way the puppet works, the way Yoda he's looking at everything. He's talking, feel the Force here, there. Everything he's saying, the puppet is moving. The work by Frank Oz is incredible. I just again, Dagobah is my favorite part of Empire Strikes Back, and all of it is because of Yoda and what he has to say about the Force. Again, I don't believe it. That is why you fail. Don't give it to hate. That leads to the dark side. Um, and again, then that boy's our only hope. No, there is another. Right now, it should be no. There are others. So there's like 20. There's Ahsoka, Cal, Grogu, Mace Windu may be alive. There's like 20 other things there, but yeah, it's Yoda. All right, so Dale is saying Empire Strikes Back was my training for life. Everything I ever needed to know, I learned in the movie theater. That's right. Then Natalie's adding that Michelle has that quote printed on her computer. Again, it's Star Wars, man. Yeah, it's just a movie. No, it's not. All right, so let's finish up because I said that was going to be done by 6:30. I'm over 6 minutes already, so the Vader and Luke battle at the end is my favorite Luke and Vader battle, lightsaber battle. A lot of people prefer, excuse me, Return of the Jedi. To me, this is my favorite lightsaber battle between those two. There's so much at stake at the moment. Love the way that Darth Vader presents himself. The Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you're not a Jedi yet. The scene is framed awesomely. Everything's dark, some dark blues. Then the stairs has those red accents. Vader on top, lightsaber. Luke turns his lightsaber on, and then Vader's lightsaber turns on very dramatically, slowly, with that great sound. He's just wielding it with one hand because he knows Luke is no match for him. Throws him to the carbonite chamber. All too easy. Psh, impressive. Most impressive. It's one of my favorite Darth Vader quotes. It's like, yeah, whatever. This is too easy for me. Impressive. Whack. Most impressive. He fights Luke like 50%. He's not using his whole power. He's not Rogue One Vader at this point. He's just messing with the kid, just one-handed, using the Force. And we know Vader's a great badass fighting with his lightsaber. We have a great control of the Force. Every other Force user that we've seen control objects with the Force always use their hands. We saw Count Dooku use the hand to bring down the ceiling on Yoda in Attack of the Clones. We've seen Anakin use it and Obi-Wan. Everyone uses their hand to control the Force. And again, visually it makes sense. In this movie, Vader is fighting with his lightsaber and then using his mind to throw things at Luke. He's not using his other hand. So he's fighting plus using the Force at the same time. And we haven't seen this before or after. So again, Skywalker has that connection to the Force like no one else. Then he only goes full on dark side when Luke strikes him on the shoulder. He's like, screw this kid. Goes hacking, flips him around, cuts his hand off. And then, of course, we have the great, if you only knew the power of the dark side and don't make me destroy you. And then, of course, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No, I am your father. Again, I don't remember what time was before that scene. I don't remember my reaction to it. I can't believe people hearing this in the cinemas for the first time. It will have just broken everything. Then, of course, Come With Me is the only way together we'll destroy the Emperor, whatever. We can rule the galaxy as father and son. He's still crying. Luke is, what the hell happened? Then Vader goes, come with me. It's the only way. And Luke is like, peace out, YOLO. And just drops into the chasm. He's like, I'll just die here. I don't know where I'll come out. He comes out the chute somewhere. And then we have Luke and Leia has that force connection for the first time. Luke centers himself, reaches out to Leia, and then Leia senses him, gives us our first hint that Leia might be a force user. We didn't pick on it for 30 years, but it's right there. And then it ends, and we all know what happens. We gotta go save Han. Chewie and Lando go on the Millennium Falcon. We're going to Tatooine, see what's going on out there. Luke, you get better. We'll meet at the rendezvous point on Tatooine. Empire Strikes Back. That's as quick. I jumped a bunch of stuff because we're running late, but again, it's a great movie. Maybe the best Star Wars movie out there. And there's nothing more you can say about it. So yeah, so we're gonna bring it to an end right there in our recap rewind of Empire Strikes Back. Next week we have chapter 15 of The Mandalorian. We'll see what happens, and our rewind review our rewind segment on Return of the Jedi, the last movie in the original trilogy when we thought everything was done for Star Wars. So we'll see how that goes. So thank you to everyone that joined our live chat today. Thanks for everyone in the comments. Your chats were awesome today, as always. Thank you. Like I mentioned before, make sure that you like this video, you're subscribed to us, leave a comment, rate us and review on all the podcasts out there. You can find us on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Podchaser, all that great. Whatever place you listen to your podcast, if you're listening to our podcast, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can just search for Radio Rebellion Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Rebel Pod, also on Instagram. And that's it. You can find us everywhere. On the description of this video is our link tree where you can find us. New episodes every Saturday. And it was great talking to you guys. That's it. See you next week. And as always, stay safe, be safe, and may the force be with you.